What's up, guys, and welcome. I am your Bearded Dynamo, and today I'm bringing you guys an exclusive from my PS5 library. Stay tuned to find out what it is. Alright, guys, we are back again. I am your Bearded Dynamo. Now, I said I was bringing you guys an exclusive from my library, and I wasn't lying. It just came out, and we are here to talk about Returnal. Not quite what I expected, but I gave it a chance. And I gotta tell you guys, it was something else. I love sci-fi. I love aliens. I love the way that they bring them together. And this is like the PB&J of sci-fi stories. So without further ado, my review, my thoughts, my first take on Returnal for the PS5. Alright, guys, here we are with Returnal. I'm glad you guys could join me today. I'm actually really looking forward to talking about this. This game was way beyond what I was expecting, and I don't get surprised very often. Let's say it that way. I am not easily surprised, and with Returnal, you get the third-person shooter, you get the roguelike access, trying to duck and dodge and not get completely decimated. Now, this was published by Sony Interactive Entertainment. It came out the 30th of April, so we're looking at 2 weeks ago. Our protagonist here, Celine, she is referred to as an Astra Scout, and she is on a planet called Atropos, and she's trying to find this signal. They received a distress signal, a warning signal, and so of course she shows up. And what she finds out is that she is trapped, very much so Groundhog's Day style, in a time loop. And you, as the player, get to experience that firsthand. Now, this is what one would call psychological horror, but it is set in a futuristic science fiction setting. So it's something else. You've got high-tech weapons, you've got this amazing suit, but you're stuck on Atropos and you're stuck in a time loop. Now, every time you die, most games, it's like game over, got to restart from a checkpoint. You don't get that. Every time you die, you are resurrected in this initial starting zone. No matter how many of the zones you make it through, you start at the very beginning, and you have to do it all again. Now, there are permanent upgrades, permanent weapons. I do, unfortunately, kind of let it slip here early on. You do get a melee weapon, which changes the dynamic. It really does. But every time you resurrect, every time you reset, the layout changes, and not just in the area that you're in. You might think, well, that's fine, I'm on the second area, and so the first area changes. Nope, the first area changes and the second area changes. And because both of those areas change, it really puts you in a really odd spot. Now, kind of a little bit of a backstory here. Astra Corporation explorer Celine Vassos, that's your name, Celine Vassos. You attempt to land on an off-limits planet called Atropos. She references it a lot. Celine talks about the white shadow signal. And for some reason, she acts like she knows it. She acts like it's something that she's familiar with. The ship is damaged, and you land. But I'm trying not to give away too terribly much of this game, even though I want to. I want to just talk about everything that I've experienced so far. But what I can tell you is that every time you die, you loop back to the crash. And it's not always the same loop. The loop changes. How you crash, the situation surrounding it changes. And you crash land, and you can't contact Astra, and things get weird from that point. You'll see you've got some very, very unusual fauna. I can't remember if I managed to get any of it, but there is some unusual vinage, some unusual flora. But the whole point is to find this White Shadow signal. Convinced that this is going to be her way off Atropos, your way off Atropos. But it is something to be amazed by. The visual scheme, the frame rate, the weapon selections. Every weapon so far that I've come across 4 different weapons, 3 that I'm okay talking about. You've got your main sidearm, you've got a shotgun style weapon, and then you've got a rifle style weapon that fires automatic. Now you might have an unusual secondary ability. You might have an unusual alternate fire. I mean, it can range. There's a bomb, there's homing missiles. There's so many different things. And like any good setup, you have the ability to get better as you progress. Like I said, you get permanent stuff that sticks with you. If you don't manage to get too much farther, but you manage to get a permanent upgrade, that sticks with you. So unfortunately, you have to abandon your ship, the Helios, which is kind of a bummer. The ship seems like it's really cool, and you have a lot of things to do before you may or may not get off of this, forsaken planet, stuck all Groundhog style with Bill Murray, just doing it all over again. But, I saw a roguelike, and I was really thinking that it wasn't going to work out for me. Because I'm not big on stuff like that. I'm really not. I'll play them, but the sneaky kind of deal is not usually my thing. However, this has so many variables, and that's what they are. You might take a room one time and have no problem because of your alternate fire weapon, because of the weapon you picked up, because of the gear that you've got, your consumables. But then you might go through again and think, no, I've got this. I did it last time, and it's a completely different showdown. So it's definitely really cool. It looks beautiful. The areas that I'm showing you guys here, this overgrown sort of forest, is gorgeous. It's amazing. And the sounds, just the vines moving, you feel them, you hear them, and I do have my DualSense turned off because a half pull is just your sort of zoom in fire, and a full push on your trigger is your alternate fire. And I wasn't 100% sure about how I felt about that, seeing as I'm big on the zoom fire, kind of focusing. This is what appears to be a library with historic information popping up, and every time you shoot it and it blows away, it just returns. It's amazing. But trying not to spoil too much is pretty crazy. And oh no, here we go. Crash landing. And kaboom! And you get to start all over again. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I wanted to make sure that you guys got to see the return, as well as a bit of what goes on. So thanks for tuning in, guys. How's it going, guys? Welcome back. What'd you guys think of Returnal on the PS5? If you liked it, didn't like it, let me know down in the comments below. If you are new to the channel and you like what you saw. I've got a ton of videos here and here that'll pop up, as well as my subscribe icon in the bottom corner as well. So if you like what you saw, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Give the video a thumbs up. And if you want to stay in touch and get a notification every time, bell icon is a great way to do that. I can't do this without you guys watching. Otherwise, they're just videos of me talking about what I love. So I guess I could still do them. Well, can't do it without you guys, but I could, but I'd rather not, because I really enjoy knowing that people are enjoying the same things I do. So, without any more jibber jab, I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. I am your Bearded Dynamo with the content you crave. And you can also check us out at Bearded Dynamo on TikTok, at Bearded Dynamo on Instagram, Twitter coming soon, and potentially a Reddit as well. If you have any ideas or comments on that, leave them down in the comments below. Anyway, you guys take it easy now. Have a good one.